Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Thomas Apologia video. Today, we are going to be looking at content from the most feared opponent of Christianity, the most intelligent Muslim in the world, Shaykh Uthman ibn Farouk. We are going to be analysing one of his strongest arguments that there are contradictions in the text of the Bible. Let's take a look.
Read this for me. Ahaziah.
What book we have? 2 Kings?
Yeah, 2 Kings.
Ahaziah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
His mother was?
Ahaziah, the granddaughter of Omri, king of Israel.
Right. So how old was he when he became king?
22 years old.
Actually, you're a preacher, man, I can tell. All right. 2 Chronicles 22:2. Read it for me.
Ahaziah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Ahaziah, the grandmother of Omri.
Granddaughter of
The granddaughter of Omri.
So was he 22 or 42?
Whichever one.
It's a contradiction right there, right?
It's not a contradiction.
Okay, let me ask something. How old are you?
I'm 30.
So if I said you're 45 and you're 30, is that a contradiction?
You pigeon-hearted pusillanimous weasel. You're finished. You're finished.
You're hiding, boy! You're hiding! And you know you can't come out and show your face!
Well, now that Christianity is refuted, I guess the only thing left to do is submit my will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wait, don't you think that you should at least study the contradiction first before you leave Christianity? You know what? You make a good point. Let me actually study to see if this is a contradiction.
6.5 hours later.
Now, the first question which we should ask before engaging in this is, can God reveal a contradiction? And the answer emphatically to this is no, God cannot reveal a contradiction. Shaykh Uthman at least is right on this point.
Now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
The angelic doctor says that it is necessary for God to reveal divine revelation to man, as this goes beyond the natural revelation that we receive through our natural reasoning that we can have for salvation. Summa Theologia Prima Pars, question 1, article 1. Furthermore, it is said, according to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16, that all scripture is inspired by God and is profitable to teach. Furthermore, also in the book of Hebrews chapter 6, it says that God cannot lie. It is impossible for God to lie. Thus, God also could not inspire a lie. And furthermore, if there could be contradictions in your scripture, then you run into an epistemic problem of how it could be from God if things can be in error, which parts can you know are in error and are not. So we know that it is impossible that scripture is not infallible. Now that we have shown that scripture must be infallible, how can we resolve this contradiction that in 2 Kings it says that Ahaziah was 22 years old, meanwhile in 2 Chronicles it says that when he began ruling he was 42 years old? How is it that we can reconcile this contradiction? I have identified 3 possible solutions for this supposed Bible contradiction. I favour one of these solutions, which I will explain lastly in this video. But firstly, I'd like to explain the first 2 solutions which people usually go to. The first solution that people usually use is that people will say that the original manuscripts of the Bible are the inspired words of God. However, in the scribal tradition in the manuscripts, a scribe made a slight error on the aging here. The difference in Hebrew between 22 and 42 is so minute that just a mere smidge of ink on the paper from the scribe could have caused such a thing. However, I do not favour this, as I believe that the others don't require us to have to appeal to a scribal error. Now, solution number 2 is that in 2 Kings, Ahaziah began to co-rule with his father Joram, which is actually what we do see throughout the Hebrew Bible. We have seen cases of co-regency. And 2 Chronicles describes when he began to become sole ruler alone as king of Israel. Now, the reason why I do not take this interpretation is because I believe that the Hebrew passage in 2nd Chronicles and 2nd Kings is too similar to the point where it can't be describing the same beginning of his rulership. So, how is it that we reconcile 22 and 42? So now on to solution number 3, which is my preferred solution for this passage. Now, my preferred solution for this is that the passage in 2 Kings chapter 8 is actually in reference to Ahaziah's actual age when he began to take the throne. However, the passage in 2 Chronicles chapter 22 verse 2 is in reference to the year of the lineage or dynasty in which Ahaziah came from when he ascends to the throne. And this makes sense when we actually understand where the lineage begins and how all these years add up to make 42 years, which is not just a coincidence. Now, the 42 years is in reference to his family history or where he comes from. Ahaziah is in the family of King Ahab of Israel, which 2 Chronicles chapter 22 verse 2 to 3 points out that the dynasty begins with his grandfather Omri, and the lengths of the reigns of all these kings in his family are as follows. So, Omri ruled in Israel for 6 years, according to 1 Kings chapter 16 verse 23. Now, we know that Omri actually ruled for 12 years, however, 6 of these years were disputed, so undisputedly he was king of Israel for 6 years. Now, King Ahab ruled for 22 years in Israel, according to 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 29. King Ahaziah ruled for 2 years in Israel, according to 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 51. And King Joram, or Jehoram, ruled in Israel for 12 years, according to 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 1. So, since Ahaziah's reign began in Judah in the last year of Joram, that would mean, according to 2 Kings chapter 8, verse 25, that Ahaziah ascends to the throne in the 42nd year of the lineage, which explains why he's called a son of 42 years. So Ahaziah was a son of the lineage of Omri, which was in the 42nd year when he took the throne. The passage is not saying that the actual age of Ahaziah is 42. So now that we've presented the possible solutions for that contradiction, please let me know if there is one that you favor over another in the comment section. Make sure you guys leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, it's been Thomas Apologia. Hope you guys have a blessed one.